The game is not unfair, but it is difficult.
Yeah.
Welcome to Game Club! My name is Brian Belcher. I'm joined with Greg Dietz, also known as Chub Rock Geek, and Brittany Saturn. This month, we're going to be playing Mahou Warrior, a game designed and created by one of our mods, The Skipper 1995, or Jordan Delp. I don't know if you want your real name out there, but too bad! It's happening.
That's what happens when you make games.
So, did you like this game?
Uh-huh.
How about you? Did you like this game?
No.
I'm kind of in the same boat. I as both of them. So that means I'm in the middle. I didn't want to like this game. No, wait a minute. I did want to like this game, and I didn't. And then I did again. I don't know. I don't know how I feel. I'm really conflicted.
Okay, before we delve into it, do you think it's harder to critique this game because we know and love the person who made it?
Absolutely not.
Yes. Because I want to say fuck this game.
Well, because
but I know Skipper will be like, oh,
you just did.
Oh well.
Because I thought like I could lie and say yeah I liked it, but I was like, why lie? Just tell me how I feel.
No. He would read right through you if you lied anyways. He'd be like,
yeah, that's true.
What the fuck, Brittany? You just get a message.
He would be disappointed.
Yeah, just like
if I lied. I was like, yeah, that game was really cool.
So basically it's like a Mega Man game, but instead of Mega Man you're a witch and there's these other 8 witches that guard Utopia or some bullshit. I don't know what the names are.
You're terrible.
And then there's some other witch who tries to attack all the time, and this time she did, and she brainwashed all the other witches while they were all separated, and now you have to go fight them and then fight the big bad witch. It's Mega Man. It's Mega Man with witches.
Yep.
The only thing that was really different is that you don't get their powers because there were no real powers. It's mostly It's mostly Mega Man with Buster only required. So
I should also specify, when I say I don't like it, I'm not saying that it's a bad game. I'm just saying that
you don't like Mega Man.
I don't like Mega Man. I have a hard time playing Mega Man, and this game was very hard for me. I didn't put it on easy. I put it on normal because I want to be a noob. So I put it on normal.
Noobs for life?
But
Noobs for life. All right.
I played on easy.
But I had trouble with it, and yeah.
I beat the game. I got through most of the special stage that is shown at the end of the credits. And then I said, fuck you, Skipper. I've got a show to do. I'm not going to beat this stage.
weeks before coming over here, I beat the entire thing. And then I also beat the special stage. And I will continue to say, fuck that.
Yeah, that stage is fucking... Although...
I have choice words. Other than that, we'll get to that, but...
But yeah, so, first off, what do you guys think of the story? Cool. Guys, what do you think of the gameplay?
That's not fair. That's fine.
Okay. So there is a story.
So the story was very simple, and that's not a bad thing because I feel like this was a major platformer, and that's what the game was about.
Yeah, exactly.
Platforming. And I thought the story worked really well with it because it was simple. It didn't get too complicated. I was able to follow it pretty well.
It was a few beats of a note or notes, whatever, and you get down to the nitty gritty. It was no different to me than any other Mega Man game in which it's inspired from.
Yeah, that being said, I guess I just was expecting a little bit more from it myself. Mostly just because there was opportunity for more. I think that a lot of it had to do with the fact that Skipper wrote it himself as well. Whereas he could have been like, here's an idea, and handed those ideas to someone that's a more skilled writer,
right?
And it would have been, if not like a more detailed or more advanced plot, at least better writing. Because where Skipper shines is in gameplay.
Correct.
And that is the most fun part of the game. Now, that being said, I think Skipper has the only problem I found with this game is that there was so much. There's never any breathing time. There's just like, check out this cool idea. Check out this cool idea.
Yeah.
These are really ingenious puzzles. Check out these really cool level designs.
It moved very fast because you had to constantly keep moving or keep figuring out where to go next.
Yeah, because Skipper made the Mega Man game of things that he enjoys, of things that he wanted to see in a Mega Man game.
Yeah.
And the only issue that I see with that is if you're not into Mega Man, those are going to be lost on you.
Yeah.
That was the next thing I was going to ask, because both of you have played Mega Man. Do you feel like playing Mega Man helped you play this game?
Definitely.
Like, you used, like, tropes from the Mega Man game. Like, oh, this is this part where you fall down and miss the laser or whatever.
Not only did he use tropes, he expanded on tropes.
Yeah.
There are some really great ideas in this game. The problem is that there's no breathing room.
Well, coming from someone who's never really played Mega Man before, I mean, I've seen Mega Man get played, obviously. We just came back from Mega Man,
I think that's another thing.
But
go ahead.
I definitely could see Mega Man coming through, and I think that was one of the reasons why I really struggled with this game, is because I feel like this game was made for people who were, like, expert platformers. Because I like platformers, I've played it before, but this was a little bit beyond my skill level. Maybe if I went back and played it on easy, maybe it'd be better for me. I don't know. A little bit. But I honestly, this just isn't my type of game. So I don't know if I would ever go back and revisit it just because of that. It just really frustrated me in some parts.
I think on that note, on what you said there with the it's made for expert platformers, and I completely agree with that. I think that there's so many obstacles and stuff that require you to be very quick with what you're doing and the choices that you make in terms of where to jump, that if you're not already kind of in that right mindset, you're not going to get past it.
Yeah.
So I totally agree with you.
It's even more so the case when you get into the later levels, when he starts mixing ideas together.
Yeah.
And it's just fucking insane. It's actually, I have to give Skipper all the credit I can. Some of the mixing of ideas is inspired and super cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
I didn't want to do them because I'm fucking tired of Mega Man at this point. We just got done with Mega Man 4. We've done a lot of Mega Man in the last week. And I'm just kind of tired of that gameplay right now. Yeah. I'm a little dead. So that might have a lot to do with my opinions of going into Mahou Warrior. To put it straight, I just beat Mahou Warrior like a half hour ago.
I beat it before even coming over here, so I wasn't like burnt on Mega Man.
And Brittany, you didn't beat the game, but you played it like today.
I didn't beat the game. I got as far as... I beat the first level, which was, for me, I picked the water level, and then I did the air base, and then I beat the forest stage, and I made it to the boss in the power plant, but I couldn't beat the boss. It was just a pain in the ass, and I knew at this point I wasn't going to beat the game, so I exited out of that level and went and played a little bit of the magma level, because I just wanted to play as much as possible, but after getting like not maybe like a quarter away through that level, I was like, ugh,
Magma Factory is terrible.
I can't do this anymore. It's just super hard. I think all of the puzzles and levels were very like fair. There was nothing that I was like, this is terrible. This is impossible. I felt it was impossible for me personally. But there were some places where there was only a couple places where I just didn't know what to do. But for the most part, it was pretty clear what I had to do. I just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So
I think that one of the things that I noticed that was it's highly recommended if you're playing it is that you have to go buy things in the shop to progress. I don't like that you have to. Like I know that he gives it to you as a option, and maybe if any of us were good enough, we don't need it, but...
So I was a little confused about the point system, because at first I thought those points kind of like... I got that you earned points to buy things, but for a while I thought those points, you had to have them in order to live. They kind of served as lives, I thought.
There's no life system.
But, I realized halfway through, like, oh, this doesn't matter. How many times I die, I'll always come back.
He borrowed from Shovel Knight.
And that's another game that I don't think you've played, really?
Not really. I played it like once, but that makes sense now, where you have the money.
Yeah. In Shovel Knight, when you die, the bags float up and you can recollect it.
But you have the possibility of collecting those again.
That's something that's missing from his game.
That being said, you still get them back. if you get to the next checkpoint without dying again, you get your money back.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I figured that out because I was racing to those points. There is a method to get those back.
Oh.
So that exists.
Okay. Well, all right then.
But I was playing with that constantly because I was constantly buying things. Every stage I got the refill your life thing or double damage, or I got both,
Yes.
I felt like it was not very forgiving for someone who wasn't very good at the game like me, because I needed to buy things to help me progress, but I wasn't able to because I kept dying and kept losing all my money.
Yep.
So it was very punishing for me.
I did have to replay the water stage a couple of times because I was just like, okay, I need to just earn money. And that one has like 2 $1,000 gems in it.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay. And they're like super easy to get, and you can actually fight that boss pretty easily without any extra items. So I went through that stage, I think 3 extra times. That being said, I also did have to fight a couple of bosses without any items. The second fortress boss, I ended up having to fight straight, like legit no items, and I got through it just fine. But it took me probably about 6 or 7 tries. And it was not easy. The game is not unfair, but it is difficult.
Yeah.
And there's a couple moments where it is kind of unfair. There's a couple bullshit ideas, I think, in there, specifically the platforms that you have to shoot to come out.
Oh, yeah, in the forest.
But that they kill you if you hit the sides of them.
Yeah, things like that drove me nuts, too. It's like, I shouldn't... The obstacle is already difficult enough, it shouldn't also kill me.
Yeah. The forest level was my favorite until I got to those platforms, and then after I got past that part, the fucking bees, like...
Fucking bees. Skipper, every fucking game he's got bees in it.
They had a pattern, but I couldn't find it, and...
The bees...
Like, sometimes I'd run through it and it was fine, other times I would get hit by bees. They would randomly pop out their little holes, so...
And so the bees coming out of the holes or whatever and chasing you down, not an issue for me. The issue was that they had terrible timers, or they had terrible... detection of where you were on screen because they'd pop out right under me.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't dodge that. There's nothing I can do to...
What I was
I actually got to a point where I figured it out, where I'd run to it right before it, then pop out, jump over.
They should pop out like a few way before you get there.
I agree, but basically they would pop out like every time if you just ran forward, it would pop out under you. But if you stop right before it, it'll pop out and then you can jump over. It's a pain in the ass, but I figured that out. But yeah, it's kind of it's a bullshit Sonic trap, to be honest.
So what was your favorite level?
My favorite level was the wood level too. It was my favorite to just run through. I thought the boss was funny because he's ditzy and dumb.
Yeah.
And I just that one had the most character. And,
yeah, that was my favorite one too. Was the wood level. Deep Woods. That's what it was called, I think.
I couldn't tell you which one was my favorite. I want to say it was it was probably Magnum Factory, honestly, and only because there's one reason I really enjoyed the Lava Factory or Magma Factory, and that was the Doofy Dragon that would chase you down.
Yep, the Doofy Dragon. You probably didn't get this far.
I didn't get that far.
There's a part where you just like have to run across, and there's a thing that you can't sit still, or otherwise something gets you, and it's this screen tall, derpy ass dragon.
It's hilarious.
It's fucking funny.
I like the big guys that you'd have to shoot into the lava.
Yeah,
those are cool.
I forget. I believe they're the lava sumo lava people. I don't know.
They're like.
There was something you didn't get to see because it's on an ice level. My favorite guy. I think Skipper named them Bad News Polar Bears, but there was a better name for it that I had, and that was the Polar Bros.
Yeah.
Because they just stand there with sunglasses on, right? And then,
That's pretty awesome.
And then they stomp, and then giant ice birds come down. But they're like, what? Come at me, bro. That's the whole the animation is perfect, and I was just like, yeah, that's a polar bear, bro.
Yeah.
But that was really cool. There was a lot of little things that were really clever. There was a lot of things that were really clever that I hated. Specifically, anything that had to do with the gravity. I know that's like Skipper's favorite thing.
Yeah.
I got so fucking tired of it. And then by the time, like, we got to the fortress stages, where it was both gravity and water physics at the same time.
Yeah, I'm like, what is happening?
Oh, and partial water physics. Because the water would come from the ceiling down and then go back up. So, like, when it was over there, like, when you're in the water, you had water physics. So you could jump real high. But you're also upside down because gravity physics are happening right now. Oh God, I hate it. Was so frustrating.
Yeah, because like I think that's in Mega Man 5 or 6, one of the two.
5 has Gravity Man.
Well, I was gonna say the water doing that thing.
Yeah, well, I believe that's 6. Is
6,
the water.
yeah. Because I remember when I was playing 6, and Skipper was like, "Do you really like that?" And I'm like, "Kind of. That's all right." And then like, but gravity, the gravity stuff is the worst.
Mm.
One of the things I was gonna say that I really enjoyed was how. And Skipper and I have talked about this before when it comes to like Shovel Knight or other Mega Man games, is how he'll show you an obstacle, then show you another obstacle, and then combine those two in the next screen, and then combine those two with something you hadn't seen. Mm-hmm. He does that a lot.
Yeah, he's got a formula.
Yeah, absolutely, and
you can tell it's a Skipper game.
Yeah,
and the reason I mention that is because in Neon Hell, he does things in that level that you're like, I don't like that thing, and I definitely don't like that thing. Why are they combined? Like Yoko blocks that disappear in gravity.
Yoko blocks that disappear with lasers shooting you above spikes. I only got I got through the first set of mini bosses on the Laser Hell stage, and then I got a little bit further, and I was just like, okay, I'm done. I can't play this game.
Did you get to the part where the ceiling and the floor are spikes, and you have Yoko blocks that you have to figure out exactly how to get through them? There's no you know how most Yoko blocks have multiple paths? Mm-hmm. No. Skipper's has one.
Yep.
And there's cheap deaths too that he put in there intentionally, where it's a leap of faith. You hit the gravity thing, you go straight up, and you're like, well, I'm dead now because he put spikes on the ceiling.
That was one thing I did like.
I should have hit right.
Because one of the Mega Man tropes is that you fall down a leap of spikes, and you just have to go one direction and whatnot.
I've seen that, and I did a little bit of that in one of the levels. I forget the ones I played. There was one that was had some sneaky spikes, and I had to quickly move over because I would follow the path of items, and then it was like, "Oh, tricked you! You gotta move over here really fast. You're about to die." So,
well, he did that in the gravity stage. So you'd fall down this big path. You hit a thing that would change to gravity. So now you'd start falling up through a bunch of spikes, and then you'd hit another one and do the same thing. So it was like a never-ending one.
That reminded me of VVVV.
Yeah.
You're not even saying things.
There's a game called 5 Vs.
You are just saying
it's
letters.
6 Vs, goddammit.
I don't care how many Vs it is. But,
I swear to God, it's the name of the game.
But,
I
yeah.
believe you.
Skipper probably likes that game.
Yeah, I bet.
I bet. So it's funny that one thing that you're going to see about this game club more than any other game club is the fact that we are really good friends with Skipper. We have
Not
played.
Anymore.
No. We've played a lot of his games.
He's deleting us right now.
And hell, I'm a boss in one of his games. But we also it's almost painful to say, you know what? No. But a lot of it has to do with the fact that this game isn't made for us.
No, it was made for Skipper.
It was not just made for Skipper. It was made for people who like Mega Man Unlimited. Yeah. It was made for people who like the Kaizo Mario. I
was being facetious with that.
Yeah.
And I know for a fact there will be people out there, a lot of people who really love this game.
Yeah, people love hard as balls games. And this game's not hard as balls. It's just, it's difficult though. But, it's...
Yeah, I beat it on easy, but I still had trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, because...
I beat it on easy. I could beat it on normal at this point.
Yeah.
But...
Why?
I don't like it.
For me, it felt like the bosses were getting harder, but I didn't have anything extra to beat them with.
Yeah, that was another thing.
I guess I was supposed to buy some special out of the store, but I didn't have any money for it because I was terrible at it.
Yeah, that helps a lot.
I mean, I guess the only thing I could say is that I just have to play it more and get better at it. Like, if this was the only game I had, then I would be like, yeah, this is great.
You too, yeah.
I would figure it out. But I just didn't have the patience to sit there and like learn all the patterns and keep grinding and keep trying. I just was like, I just want to play this damn game and it won't let me. It keeps killing me.
Yeah.
So it really frustrated me.
Thankfully, he didn't do what I hate in a lot of those classic games or just games in general, is that lockout levels until you get enough something.
Mm-hmm.
He was just like, just
nice.
beat these two and then you go to the next area.
Oh, that's something that Skipper never really does. He doesn't do a lot of bullshit like that. I mean, he does some bullshit kills every now and then, but that's about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think we've covered gameplay pretty significantly.
So how did you guys go? Like, I guess we'll move on to aesthetics of the game.
Aesthetically, I think the best thing about it was the music.
Yeah, I was gonna say I really love the music in the Air Fortress stage. I thought it was really cool. I really like that music.
I'm gonna say the only stage that didn't have good music, in my opinion, or like it was the weakest link, was probably the ice stage. I thought it was a little blah. It kind of doom with a little beat behind it, and I was just like,
I think that whoever composed that was trying to go for what your body kind of goes through when you're cold. You're slow, you're methodical.
But that's not how the game is at all.
So how much of this... So Skipper made the art for this game, correct?
Skipper made the art.
He made the art.
Level design. There's some sprites made by other people, but mostly him.
And what about the music? Did he make that?
The music was several different composers.
Okay. Yeah. I think the fact that Skipper did most of the work on his own, very, very impressive.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the fact that I feel like Skipper is more of a level designer.
Yes, and level design programmer.
Like, he'll be the first to admit that to you.
Yeah, rather than an artist. And the only problem I had with some of the levels is that some of the levels were just a little too busy for me, and I didn't know, like... I had trouble deciding, like, is this a platform I'm supposed to jump on? Or I wouldn't see a little enemy or like some spikes because it was just so busy, and I had to look really hard.
That was especially bad on all of the like cybernetic or circuitry type stages.
Yeah, the two stages that stood out to me that had it really bad, and out of the ones I played, was the water level and the power plant. Those were the worst for me. Like, I just felt like the background and the level was just too busy, and sometimes I would jump on things I wasn't supposed to just because I didn't see it. Yeah. And then I'd be like, oh shit, there's a thing there. Let me jump over it, you know?
Yeah, I agree. That's the only... I think this game would benefit a lot with... of course, like, a lot of people would benefit from a 16-bit upgrade. But... I think what would benefit Skipper specifically he'd have a little bit more wiggle room to be able to show a non-boring background, but it's the right color palette. Yeah. That doesn't interfere with the foreground, so you can and the active characters on screen, so that way you'll be able to dodge effectively.
And I get that he probably wanted to put a lot of detail into it. You know, he didn't want it to be blah boring. I understand why he did it.
I think it's just it's also very flashy a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's always it's like you said, it's busy, and I think that's very true for a lot of stages. But like you're talking about the circuitry one where it's like your face.
There's a background animation and a foreground animation, which were conflicting. Yeah, and when you're moving on top of two things that have an animation, it was kind of annoying. That being said, Laser Hell, which has an animated foreground but a solid background, was actually really nice. You never got to see that, but it was actually that one. I never had any problems with seeing where enemies were or seeing where I was or anything along those lines.
I will give him credit on the aesthetic that every level, whatever the theme was, it never deviated. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he stuck with it 100%.
I like the design of some of the enemies. I thought they were really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the carrots that would jump on me. I guess they were carrots. I don't know.
The enemies were hilarious.
Yeah, they were pretty funny.
Yeah, they were fun.
I loved all of the enemies as far as like the amount of character that it brought to the game.
There was some derpy ass sea stars that would come after you in water level too. I'm like, oh my god, fuckers.
There's an area where there's these little rats that come after you in the toxic stage, like the trash stage. It has it looks like a Minecraft block on the outside of the stage.
I'm trying to remember.
It's the next to last stage. Like you have.
I'm trying to remember the rats.
Well, there's these rats that attack you. Do it, ding, ding, and they make the dumbest noise, and I loved it. It was just like I hated it as an enemy, but I thought it was like really cute. Like
yeah. Like, I thought the flowers in the forest level were really cute, but man, I hate those fuckers.
Yeah.
They were the worst.
They reminded me of you never saw this, but the first enemy in Undertale.
Oh, Flowey?
Yeah. So.
Spoilers!
Anyways, so.
I just like to yell at you guys. I don't really care.
Anyways, but, so aesthetically, I thought the game. I still think Skipper needs to get a better, hire a sprite artist.
Yeah.
Yes.
But besides that, I think aesthetically everything was great, and it wasn't bad sprite work, but I just know it could be
polish
better.
it up a little bit.
I think
and
where
it'll be even better.
Yeah, I think where he needs work on his big sprites.
Yeah.
Because that, as much as I love that dragon,
it's a derpy dragon.
Well, maybe he intended it to be derpy.
I like the derpiness of it. It's kind of funny. And that being said, if you look at the Mega Man 2 dragon at the end,
sure,
it's a little derpy too.
Yeah,
if
absolutely.
we're going to critique derpy things, take a look at old Mega Man over there. And all of his family, friends, and neighbors.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Because those motherfuckers, holy shit.
Yeah, there's some derpy ass Mega Man characters.
Some hamburgers throwing balls at you. All kinds of shit in that game.
Hamburgers throwing balls and shit at you.
Yeah, that's game.
That's Mega Man. That's Mega Man the game. There's lemons and hamburgers trying to kill you.
And those little first aid
turds.
shits that you think it's first aid, and they're not first aid people. They will shoot you in the face.
So guys, ultimately, how do you think this game made you feel?
I was extremely frustrated. I've never wanted to break a controller. I almost slammed it on the desk, and I was like, all right, I'm going to walk away. It's fine. Let me go put my sheets in the dryer. Take a break.
All right.
I felt extremely frustrated with this game.
How about you?
I felt actually really challenged in my platforming skills. I had been practicing with Mega Man 4 a ton, played a bunch of Mega Man prior to that, and I learned that my platforming skills are great. I don't know why. Maybe years of Mega Man or Mario. But when I played this, I actually felt like everything was coming to fruition for me. And I legitimately really enjoyed playing it.
Mm-hmm.
My name is Greg, and I'm really good at platforming.
Look, I'm just good at it. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
I think the game frustrated me, and it made me... This game was not made for me. This game ultimately was not made for someone who wants a regular style game with moderation and then throws stuff at you every now and then.
Absolutely.
This game was made for someone who wants a Kaizo game, who wants
A Kaiser roll?
Yes, exactly. Anyways,
You just wanted to go fast, that's all.
We're gonna go play some Kaguya Mart after this, and we'll go real fast. Gotta go fast. I did like the dash. That's something we never really talked about. That this was like Mega Man 8-bit, but with a dash from like the X series.
With a dash?
Yeah, dashing. There's dashing.
Oh, yeah. Well, I thought it was always for that sliding, not dashing.
Oh, well.
Because that's how you get under small crevices.
True.
Just like Mega Man.
Yeah, I guess you're right there. That is pretty much the same thing as a slide. But I liked it because it reminded me of X.
It looked like she was on like a broom.
Yeah.
It looked like she was rock sliding to me.
There you go.
Rock sliding?
Like, on your knees and you're rocking out.
Got a little...
I was thinking of like rocks, like
coming down
a mountain and killing people.
All right.
Which I agree on both counts. So, guys, next month we're going to have another game. That game is SuperHOT.
Potato. We're just going to put a really hot potato in tinfoil and throw it around the room.
That's the game we're reviewing next month. Guys, make sure to play that game. It's brand new. We don't really play that many brand new games on here, but we're going to next month. So, pick it up. It is on Steam. Eventually Xbox One and PS4. We'll be joined by, I think it's going to be me, you, and Hutch. I don't know. You won't be here then.
No, I'll be at home.
You'll be back in California. Guys, I want to thank Chub Rock Geek, Greg Dietz. I can't say your name. I can't. I did it. It had to happen.
It's fine. Trust me, it's been my whole life that way.
It's alright. My name's Belcher. At least you don't have that.
No, well,
but everyone knows how to say my name.
Yeah.
You would think.
Is everyone going, Belchier?
No, that's actually closer to the proper pronunciation. Belcher's also wrong.
Oh, okay.
But that's, my family's just said fuck it at this point.
Yeah.
But, no, I've been called Bleacher a few times.
Okay.
Beecher. Becker. I don't know.
Well,
people can't read.
That's true.
But you have an I in yours, and it makes me want to pronounce it wrong.
So I
think that's the problem with a lot of people. Is like it's easy to spell because it's diet with a Z.
Yeah.
But it's pronounced Dietz if you change the I to an E.
It makes sense then. But my brain doesn't want to make sense.
So we've got Grog.
Funny enough.
Dietzer.
Grog Dietzers.
Ron Bleacher and Brittany Uranus.
Your anus. Excuse me. Excuse me.
Uranus. Brittany Uranus.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.